perhaps in the Enchantress, 33 on a Beastmaster. I mean, this is shaping up to be a great game one, Avery.
Yeah, well, a player called Quinn Callahan once said, "Fuck this game, go down mid, GGN please." So we'll see which of those quotes comes into play more here as we get another European brawl between two of the top four in the DPC. All year they will meet here in the lower bracket, of course, because the European brawl in the upper bracket sent gaming here. Can they recover? Can they mentally recover? Can they push through? Tundra here with a stand-in, but it's an NA stand-in, which gives them a 2 NA player advantage versus Gaimin's only 1. And they have 6 TI rings on that side.
Damn.
Versus 15 major victories on the other.
That's a lot of numbers.
I don't know which are better. I'd probably take either, but one will be victorious here today, and that is the only number that matter. Well, how many wins do you get in this series?
I mean, okay, legitimately, which one do you think is more impressive? 3 majors in a row or 1 TI?
TI.
I mean, financially, it's certainly more impressive.
TI is just a different beast, man.
I mean, it is a different beast, but there has to be something said for the longevity of which Gaming Gladiators has dominated the scene.
The 3 majors is more impressive, but every Dota player is going to take the TI.
Sure.
You know, that's how it works. So they're still looking for it. We'll see if Gaming can make the lower bracket run and meet their foes in the grand finals again for the 8th time in a row that I'm sure everybody is really praying for here. However, they will have to go through Tundra first. And this is a classic draft that we have here. As you were saying, a lot of signatures coming out. I am looking at one hero and one hero only in this game, and that is the Ace Underlord, because I don't know if you know the stats on this hero, but I feel like he's only lost with it once this entire year? Maybe twice. I don't know the exact number, but it's got to be like 16-2, 18-1, something in this category. It is by far Gaimin's strongest hero, and I feel like that's why CY was confident in the draft, because, I mean, you got Ace Underlord, and this team just doesn't lose with that hero.
They have like 10 victories in a row. They lost to BBT in Dream League. They lost to Quest with the Underlord in the DPC. Mind you, this is in the space of like 20 matches. Sure. The first season of Dream League, they lost to OG. And that's their 3. They have 3 losses on Underlord over the year.
Yep. Well,
that is crazy.
I thought it was 2, and they'll have 3 instead. I guess it's a way worse stat than I thought. No, just kidding. It's still insanely impressive. They'll get it here. Skeeter looking for the first blood. Unfortunately, the leaps are already there. And it's going to be a tough hero to beat. There's a reason it works really well for these guys. It's basically the ultimate aura buyer. And so when they hit their timings in that 20 to 30 minute window, it just hits really damn hard. It is also very difficult to shut Ace down on this hero because he's a lane dominator. Like there's very few carries that beat this hero in the current meta. And that's why we see Tundra pulling out the Ursa here. I don't think Ursa beats this hero on lane. He probably beats him in the late game when you can just chunk him down with the stacks and push through the auras. The early game though, as we see, Ace is already top of the CS board here, and this is going to be something that Tundra are going to have to deal with. How hard does this Underlord hit? You might have some Ancient stacks to go with it. You have a Rubik to back him up, so you have double base damage reduction, a classic strategy here. And of course, you're going to have a Timbersaw who's having a free lane versus the Pango who's going to create some tempo. If I'm Tundra, I really need a couple things to go right in this early game. Number 1, it's the Pango and the Beastmaster outperforming the lanes. So getting more than maybe they deserve in these early stages of the game. And this Enchantress to get some roam action going. In that situation, you're putting some pressure on AUI, though it is a hero he's very comfortable playing and one that he is very annoying with, that is for sure.
Yeah, certainly. It's quickly become one of his best heroes when standing in for Tundra specifically because of all the various shenanigans he gets up to with these neutral creeps with Enchant. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on where those neutral creeps head around in this matchup. As he does have a chance to actually get a heartbeat here.
Takes it. It's a level 1 enchant.
Yeah, so it doesn't last that long, meaning you don't get that many lightnings out of it, but he is going to take it and immediately get that lightning off to a start.
Next level plays from a 2-time TI winner right here.
Yeah, baited him in. And he's going to get all 3 of those chain lightnings out before it expires, so very nice damage.
You see, that's a TI winner chain lightning right there.
Well, in some ways, a 2-time TI winner.
Chain, you went to hit it.
I wouldn't have hit it. He gets a 4th one, actually, because of the mana regen.
That's how good this guy is. I mean, I will say AUI has been performing really well at this tournament. I think a lot more comfortable and confident compared to Bali.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more ready to stand or whatever.
I mean, he also was specifically actually playing Dota beforehand.
Which helps.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something Tundra have going for them here is this early game 0-0 at the 4.5 minute mark. Fairly quiet. All cores are finding farm. And
do you feel like that favors one team or the other in this laning?
I feel like it favors whoever makes the first move and starts to build momentum. And I'm looking at these two safe lanes because I feel like both teams want to kind of gank the carry in a way, though it's far easier to gank this Ursa than the Morphling. And maybe if you're Tundra, as long as you can prevent your Ursa going down in the first 10 minutes here, you're going to be happy.
These rotations through the portal have been pretty successful, but it does seem like Tundra will well aware of it this time. With Snaking playing super aggressive on the Techies, had a lot of information going, so he gave the heads up to Skeeter. Skeeter backed off for a bit. He missed a few CS as a result, but eventually Skeeter's got to move forward, and he is going to be caught now. Arrow point blank lands, but the heals are just enough.
Lotus will get him out of dodge, and of course Nature's Attendant's going to do a little bit of work here with the regen up. But you got to keep in mind, dyrachyo has been left bottom, so Gaming, they really want the kills out of this move. They don't want to just sap XP away from the Underlord here while nothing else is happening on the map, but they're giving free reign to 33, who's getting slightly more out of dyrachyo, who is jungling up the ramp on the gate. An interesting idea that seems kind of radiant advantaged here.
Good point.
Where's the balance?
Well, there's supposed to be different advantages to Radiant and Dire.
Not like that, man. You're gonna poke Tofu for the rune, 50-50. And it will not go Quinn's way. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's an arcane rune for a Pango. That is particularly scary.
He's gonna be mad about that one. See if Gaiman can deal with the bad rune luck here. As Tundra collapsed with all three in that arcane rune rolling thunder. This is very efficient. Just gonna clean him up. Easy kill.
And a big first blood. So you said the advantage goes to whoever starts building that momentum, and now that is going to be Tundra. Tanks up the siege wagon, so they're gonna get a lot of damage on this tier 1.
That is a huge play by Snaking. This is just a dead tower almost, because your Timbersaw, he's level 6, so he's down for a decent chunk of time here.
Enchant is gonna be able to get a different creep to tank up the tower. Yeah,
this is trouble for Gaming. That's a big arrow block. Tofu might be looking for it again with the Timber coming back in. Now, if Snaking tanks this one, he might die for it.
Does tank it. That's going to lead into the Chakram. Bit of damage. Tier 1 tower is going to be denied. Quinn managed to pick that one up, but they do not get a kill out of this situation.
I think Tundra are still very happy with that rotation. You get a tier 1 off the board from a Timbersaw this early on, plus the first blood going into Nine's pocket as well. Exact hero they wanted on. Very useful arcane rune, rolling thunder up again in 9 seconds.
Look at this mid matchup. Now this we talked about, you know, with the Bruce Lee quote, right? Being able to play a single hero and being able to get very, very good at it. This is maybe where some difference comes in this specific matchup. I think Gaming Gladiators did manage to get some key heroes for the rest of their squad, but Quinn specifically is playing a Timbersaw, which I would not call one of his signature heroes. He's played it a number of times. I think he's got like maybe 30, 35 official matches with it, but it's not his Ember, right? It's not his Pangolier. It's not his Ziggy.
Still a hero he's comfortable with. He's played it most of the year. I wouldn't put it up there in his top 3 that he's going to spam in pubs, you know. I mean, what can you do? It's
compared to a 9 Pangolier as the contrast, right?
Sure.
Which is probably his #1 hero.
I mean, his Pangolier is a hero he played in that TI Grand Final, so he's got to be comfortable on it.
Yeah.
I also think it was a hero that was performing really well for Tundra for most of that year. Like, that was one of their go-tos, right? It was a hero they could early pick for 9 that turned into a killer on the map that also gave him teamfight and scale. It was just a ridiculous Pango patch. This one is not as good a Pango patch, it feels. The hero is having some difficulties getting into the late game scale. He had some mid games and some laning issues. Like yesterday, we saw Quinn play that Pangolier versus Nisha. Did not go well for him, right?
Yeah.
So as good as this is for 9, I think it's still a hero that you really need to execute well on, and you need to have that lane go well. So the fact that Tundra roamed into here to guarantee the Pango has a good early game and some extra rune control is pretty damn nice.
I will give you some stats to back up Tundra here. They have played it 6 times at this tournament. They have only lost 1 of those games. but the quality of teams may not have been the best. They played against 5 of their matches were against the North American teams, 4 of which were actually against Shopify Rebellion.
What are you implying there?
That they had really good practice partners for this Tundra.
Well, maybe Tundra's Pango is just really good, and Shopify are the one team that gave it to him because they're not afraid of anything.
That's true. They gave it to him 4 times.
Yeah.
They did get one of those wins.
So maybe that speaks to Shopify's bravery in this tournament compared to all the other teams that don't have the balls that an NA squad has to give them their best hero.
Liquid gave it to him twice, and Tundra won two of those games.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe that just speaks to the execution level of a top European team, you know, more than the lack of for an NA team.
Yeah,
you know, stats are stats, Cap. It's about the story that you generate out of them that is what really matters, you know?
Okay, so what story do you want to generate out of that?
NA is gonna be reborn from the ashes like a phoenix because they have been training against the best and the strongest at their peak.
Yeah.
This TI is back on home turf. You know what that means? That means the economy tickets are damn cheap. Probably going home early. What can you do, man? Sometimes, sometimes you get Dota and sometimes Dota gets you. The way of the road here.
And what was okay? So we casted the game yesterday, Gaming Gladiators versus Liquid. What situation was that for Gladiators?
What do you mean?
They got by Dota? Did Liquid get them?
No.
How did they end up in this lower bracket? Reviewing that match.
They won 3 majors in a row. How dumb can you be? Why would you win 3 majors in a row? I mean, have you been watching Dota the last time? You don't win 3 majors in a row. Ice Frog is going to come back with a vengeance. That bounce patch was a game and nerf patch. You just looked at whatever they were winning with and it all got nerfed. So now you have to win with all these same heroes that you've been playing all year, except they're 10% worse.
Yeah, Tundra did a much better job in their run.
Yeah, they've been sandbagging all these events and still getting top 3 somehow. Working out great for him is, I mean, what are you going to nerf from Tundra? It got nerfed last year.
Yeah,
no
they already got taken out. Wraith Pack.
If anything, Wraith Pack might get buffed. They're going to win another TI. This team's terrifying. Is another roll is going to come through off that arcane cooldown.
Yeah, remember, we did have a bit of a pause, but it was an arcane rune roll in Thunder, so it came back very quickly. And a 3rd death now for Gaming Gladiators as a whole, but 2 specifically for Quinn. A rough start for the mid laner of Gaming Gladiators.
Timbersaw is not finding that early Vanguard in the lane push that he's looking for, and 2 big kills for 9 is going to push him into the fast defusal, as well as levels for this Tundra support duo. Level 5.5 basically for both of them here. That is super nice when you're running this Techies Enchantress, because Techies has not had the greatest tournament here. I think some of it is based off his early game got nerfed a bit on the lane. So you kind of want to just make up for it by getting a faster 6-on-0 and open up the kill threat, and then you're starting to snowball the game through just his raw damage output off of the back of some of these cores. Helm of the Dominator already done for 33 as well. And this is looking like one of the better early games we've seen from Tundra against one of the better early game teams in the world here. Gamon's still looking for their first kill, or their first tower, their first anything. I mean, they do have the net worth on the cores.
Look how far ahead 33 is. Like his current net worth is fine, but the potential net worth and farm he's going to get out of himself stacking ancients over and over again. So he's going to get very big once he clears all this one. Jump here onto AEY 2000. Not enough damage though.
Something's not connecting about these 3 heroes top for Gaming. They just don't have the damage or the continual lockdown to find the kills, and I feel like they're just sucking XP away from Ace, where normally they'd give him a lot of room and go play through Quinn.
Yep.
This is not really their MO, and it feels a bit awkward. Are they even getting ancient stacks up? Not too many. They have 1 ancient stack waiting. This is also something that Ace has relied on to just pull ahead of everybody here.
I would say it's awkward to play through a Timbersaw, right? As opposed to many other mid laners that provide their own disable.
I mean, I think if he was getting runes and he was the one pushing the tower, it'd be fine. Instead, he's getting rolled on a 3rd time.
3rd death for Quinn Callahan.
Where's the help?
Well, it was going to be a portal, but Ace canceled that one. AY 2000 will use it to get back to lane. He's like, all right, sweet.
Even Gaiman's own spells are working for Tundra here, and now they're going to outnumber Ace top. They're going to push Techies out of
Skeeter, this is a pretty bold move. Dyrachyo actually TP'd in to fight this one. Turning into the Ursa, that's a pretty interesting idea here. He's going to keep up with Skeeter and get this kill. A great rotation from Dyrachyo. Once again, the Gaming Gladiators carry. Sometimes his aggression pays off in spades for Gaming Gladiators. They get a very important turnaround.
That's a large momentum swing. There was a lot going really well for Tundra. Now your Ursa dies on his way to try and get this Battle Fury, and he falls in a situation where that was not a kill Gaiman deserved to get. Dyrachyo with the correct read will make the play, turn into the worst carry and use his spells against him here. And then head straight back bottom to defend this tower. 33 unable to capitalize on that space, as you know, he was clearing through these Ancients instead of pushing that tier 1. Maybe not expecting that to be a situation that would occur.
Some classic AUI 2000 things. He pulls the creeps off of the tower, so the siege wagon gets targeted by the tower and they don't take too much damage.
That is a very old school AUI move.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're clearing through the stacks, man. Skeeter pulls the wave off of mid onto a neutral camp. This is peak efficiency right here. Double damage and some extra Hadouken to help clear through it. Pretty damn fast for this early in the game. This is going to be a massive Pangolier. He's already got Diffusal and Orb of Corrosion and Arcane Boots. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, seriously. If anybody's going to make Pango work, it's going to be Tundra.
He is ridiculously farmed. It's not a question of are you going to win the fight, it's where is 9 going to go and what do you do versus this right now, because there is not a good answer on game inside. You don't have Rubik level 6 yet. Your cores don't have any BKB piercing lockdown, so his rolls are free. The mana burn,
there's the move,
strong.
But a swashbuckle misses. Ace had already retreated away.
I feel like you need to go through the beast right now. Like, start pushing the tempo with the fact that you have this helm. This tier 1 tower being bottom still up is... it's a little too long for my taste, given how much room Dyrachyo gave you down here because he TP top. I guess it will eventually go down. It gets denied? Ah, that's, I mean...
has been denied.
33.
Come on, 33.
Maybe my expectations are too high. That didn't feel like a deny that was necessary here. One Gaming will gladly take as they are recovering on their cores, especially Quinn. He did some Ancients of his own, and now he's level 10.5 and right back up there, not too far behind.
I thought 9 and AUI were going to go through the portal, but they started heading that way, and then they re-smoked up. Off of that tower dying, they decide it's no longer the play to go bottom. They try and keep the aggression up here in the top lane. 9 missing another swashbuckle.
This is not the Diffusal reveal they really wanted out of this Pangolier. A lot of
even worse. He gets hit by an arrow here. Oh, it's perfect! Ace lines it up with a pit, and Tofu just fully trusts in their teamwork to land. Beautiful stuff. AUI is going to die eventually as well, but the big kill, and kill streak being taken away from the Pangolier and given a game of Gladiators now. We're at an even game.
And what a clutch find. The fact this pit prevents any of the skeletons or creeps going in front of this as well. Cannot ask for a better connection at a better time in this game to turn this momentum against the Pangolier. That's the biggest kill on the map. He was worth a decent chunk of gold, almost 1,000 for that kill because he had the streak. Getting Enchantress on top of it. I mean, Quinn is just back in the #1 position like that. 3 deaths in the early game, they don't mean squat if you can't take the space away.
Yeah.
Gaming right back where they want it to be at the 15-minute mark. You're gonna have to play for this Helmet of Overlord now if you're Tundra and kind of get a Roshan out of that, it feels like. Especially for this Ursa, because Skeeter is... I mean, this is part of the game where he's having trouble keeping up. I guess he's just gonna do it himself early on. So they're not gonna wait for the Helmet of Overlord. They just clear through with the extra Vlads. Pretty nice read here. Does he not want it? Okay.
Oh
he's
my
gonna
God,
leave
he's
it for
giving
9.
it to 9. Wow.
Wow, what a team player. I mean, I guess this makes sense, right? I don't know if Skeeter wants to be running in and joining these fights anytime soon. They're pretty damn difficult for him. And this will make sure that 9 can at least get a guaranteed fight out of the 2 lives.
Another Moonlight Shadow move, or excuse me, a smoke move. Now the Moonlight Shadow is going to be used to help the smoke land. They're going to get in melee range of 33. 33 gets off the Bramble Roar, but very likely he will fall to Quinn here as another Chakram.
The roar.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it's the Whirling Death that cuts him down in the trees.
Nice little gank by Gaming. It will produce a nice ult for Celery here. Other lanes getting shoved in by Tundra. They're finding some farm on their supports. I'm surprised that 33 stuck around. That proximity mine went off. Just didn't respect it. The warning signal was given. Battle Fury done for Skeeter, and now he will start to catch up onto this Morphling. Not the worst position for Tundra to be in, though. I think they could have been farther ahead given how much they abused Quinn on that middle matchup.
Yeah.
That just never really yielded anything for them. Gaming made some good comeback moves, and they're pretty much ready to fight. They have their mech on the Underlord. Ace is looking for an Atos here, maybe just more setup to guarantee these arrow connections. There's no real save on Tundra, so it does sound pretty decent. So I also wouldn't mind him just going faster Greaves into Pipe, or even Force Staff. This game is pretty damn nice versus the Ursa, the Beastmaster Roar. Quinn will slay the Kobold.
Get him.
No mercy.
They're going to try and kill him, but he does have a haste rune. So they're going to have to chain stun him here. Also, the enchant could be used AE-wise too far away. The Primal Roar is actually going to be put to use here. The Rolling Thunder halted in its place.
That enchant was on cooldown. Otherwise, I think he just runs up and guarantees it. Haste will go back through the gate. Haste rune doesn't yield too much for Quinn. He just rushes back bottom. They really do not want to give any space to 33 down here. They have prioritized kicking him out of this jungle very heavily.
Oh, he's not going to find it.
What is Quinn's problem with these creeps, man? Chill. Actually, I guess that's thematic.
Boars. What? Timbersaw hates trees. He doesn't hate all woodland creatures.
Crazy. He's just insane.
I see.
Radiant's middle tower.
More
is
stacking.
under attack.
What are we up to stacks-wise? Because Gaming Gladiators have certainly not done nearly as much. 15 in total for Tundra. Meanwhile, 9. They're actually pretty close. What is that, 12, 14? They're only one behind.
Radiant's top tower is
I do
under
think
attack.
more of those stacks have been Ancients for Tundra, though.
Yes.
That was a lot done by 33. And those stacks were slightly more efficient because he did them with like the boars and stuff, whereas Gaming had to commit heroes. Still very even game, less than 1k difference as the sound issues persist. In fact, this is a 500 gold difference game. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. That's how close these European teams are.
We're going to have a Maelstrom soon for 9. We've got Glimmer Cape and Force Staff being built up by Snake King right now. Battle Fury builds. How late do you think you can go in this matchup? Morphling versus Ursa? Because like 1-to-1, Ursa is a pretty good answer to Morphling most of the time, right?
Yes. I think the most recent patch with the Morphling Ags being ridiculous, I think Morphling is probably favored versus anything in the game. Maybe now it shifts back a little bit. But yes, Ursa has generally been a very good matchup for Morphling, especially in the late game. It's just very hard to deal with the constant enrage. He's going on you, he's building stacks. Even if you're morphing, you're not really winning that exchange. You can't go back in, can't get rid of these. I think Tundra should be pretty confident in their scale. This is a really good Ursa game. Like, he is good against all 3 cores, and your 2 supports are not going to offer you a huge amount of kiting or utility here. If there's one game you should be confident in Ursa to win late, it's probably this one. Otherwise, the hero is just straight garbage. So you're picking it for a reason. This is a game to showcase why. If Skeeter gets the items, Pangolier and Beastmaster to back him up, yeah, you should be pretty comfortable.
So you're saying this could be the last series for Tundra and the last game of Ursa at this tournament?
I mean, if Ursa doesn't win this game, I don't know, man. I have no faith left in this hero. Yeah. Sorry, Fuzzy Wuzzy, you're just not fuzzy enough.
It has been. Helm of the Overlords for 33. Oh, look at that. AUI got the Grove Bow, so he's going to be pretty happy with that exchange.
You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about Timbersaw. It sounded like you knew a little lore about the. Sounded like you knew a little lore about why Timbersaw's so crazy there, Cap.
I know he really hates trees.
Yeah, you know why?
Because his family got slaughtered by like.
Yeah, his family and the entire Augury Bay got slaughtered by treants. This is why he hates all treants, including Nature's Prophet, who fights for the treants, and Treant Protector. Because the Treant Protectors killed his entire city.
And they did that because they were. He was in the forestry, right? Like they were cutting down trees, right? So well, in a way they were defending themselves.
Unconfirmed, you know that.
Unconfirmed.
Yeah, that part of the history is a little lost to legend. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like you're on the side of industry, Avery.
I wouldn't say that. I'm on the side of progress. As we are going to progress in this game now that it is unpaused. You like that transition?
Yeah, I do.
Take some notes, kid. And 9 is going to smoke up. Age is still up for 2 minutes here. Doesn't
Quinn
have that
is the
maelstrom, but
target
he is
again.
deadly.
He is in a position to be able to get a decent timber chain, but he's got to get up to the high ground, and he's not going to make it. Boy, Tundra really hate Quinn. That's what I'm getting.
They are sending him a message this game, and it is, you are not going to scale as we continue to shut down your momentum. They find a shield rune for 9, and the damage is really ramping up here for Tundra. I'm concerned about how Gaming are going to deal with the jump, right? Because you don't have a real hard save. You have potentially a Rubik's Shard later, and you have some Underlord auras, but nothing crazy here. It's only a mech for Ace. This Ursa Pango Beast just go on a target. Well, that guy is not surviving. I don't care if you have a Pavis on Mirana here. Yeah, damage is overwhelming, and that Helm of the Overlord is finished, so push time for Tundra. Every kill they get is going to result in objectives and Celery.
Any extra pickoffs will ensure that they can get this tier 2 tower. Celery will be showing up to the fountain is the same time the Quinn's coming out of it.
Maybe they can high-five each other. And this should result in a tier 2 for Tundra as they're starting to speed this game up. Early Roshan going to do them favors if they can control the second one too, because that's going to come out around the 25-26 minute mark. Might just be able to go an early high ground off a single team fight at that point. Yeah. And Ursa's going to be ready to use that one, as it's just going to be Battle Fury into BKB for Skeeter. I have to imagine it's going to be a Blink Basher at some point there as well. And Diffusal Maelstrom for 9. He's just going raw damage here.
Arrow lands, but the Rolling Thunder is going to be able to stop Gaming Gladiators from immediately killing Staking. Now, Quinn was able to finish up that kill, but if they can get the Underlord in exchange, it's well worth it. And the damage being laid into Quinn as well. AUI with the impetus.
That was just all the dragon impetus and Aurora there, man. That wasn't even the big core targets. AUI did 1800 to him.
Yeah, he only got level 3 enchant. Usually he maxes it out, but in this game, he went level 3 enchant and then went back, maxed out impetus. So that's why he did so much damage there. He had no cooldown on it.
That might just catch Gaming off guard. You're expecting AUI to be cutting your way bottom with 6 creeps that are all pumped up, not hitting you with impetus and slaying you. This man's evolving.
Dire's middle tower.
They're gonna go for your Tormentor. Whoa!
They're not gonna go for it. They're just gonna get it. A shard for AUI, so now he can split push to his heart's delight here. He went a decent build in my opinion, and he gets rewarded. Sometimes you just need that damage. This is also a good Enchantress game to scale in because he has good core matchups as well, right? These impetuses are going to hurt the Underlord and the Timbersaw. There's some crossover here between the two big frontliners, and he has Inner Beast to pump up the attack speed. So this Enchantress is going to hurt. It's just going to be straight Hurricane Pike on top of Grove Bow for AUI.
Smoke and a Moonlight Shadow. The two teams are going to crash into each other here. It's going to be 33 who's going to be the target first, but they don't have an opening disabled. 33 just runs away, and Quinn, he's going to be targeted once again. Get hit by the Rolling Thunder Rising Timber Chain, so he dies to the Ursa as a result. Gaming Gladiators retreat from yet another lost engagement against Tundra. 9 rolling it up and rolling it out of there as he gives the cover for them to be able to finish off Ace.
And they just abandon Ace on that backside. The instant Quinn gets stunned once the fight's over. Is it that simple for Tundra? That's what it felt like, right? The second the Rolling Thunder connects on the Timbersaw, okay, he's just dead.
Yeah.
You need a save here. You need some disjoint and force staffs or some better tankability and pipes. Or
I mean, the combination of not having save and not having clear initiation is killing Gladiators, right?
Yeah, it's like Atos into Arrow, right? But there's a lot of creeps around. The Ursa can always ult. The Enchantress can just tank it with heal.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the snaking Techies, who has built up a pipe, by the way. So the auras are coming out for Tundra. Early drum for 33 as well. I kind of like it. The extra move speed, being able to kite around this fight and make sure your Ursa can get in there exactly when you want him to. These little things matter a lot, especially when you're trying to snowball this game.
Middle tower is under attack.
See here, Quinn just tries the front line for his team. Doesn't get a single spell off in this entire engagement, pretty much. And he is instantly dead. Man, this Ursa has done work for Tundra so far. Looking like a great hero in this game.
Yeah, certainly. And he's only just beginning his reign of terror. The BKB now complete. You're probably going to get a guaranteed second Roshan. And then we're not even getting to the territory where he gets Blink Dagger and, you know, Abyssal Blade and just instantly takes a hero out at the very start of the engagement.
Yeah, that's when the Ursa's scary. When he has the Blink Basher, your Pango's probably also going to have an Ags Pango's a very good hero versus Morphling in these types of games where he's just getting massive amounts of mana burn and disarms throughout the fight. Then you're maybe getting roared if you go in. The Ursa's bashing you up, building the Fury stacks. Got to remember this hero also has the 15 talent that builds 2 off the Earth Shock instantly. It gets a little faster than maybe players are used to because it's like a weird talent they got in the last year.
Yeah.
It's a very, very tricky hero to play against in some of these fights when you don't have clear initiation, because that's normally the way you deal with him. You go in with a Hex or something here, he's just running at you. What is the answer?
Rage to be able to get rid of the Rod of Atos, because once they have a kill, I think Gaming Gladiators don't really have a chance. It's a 4 versus 5 with a lineup that just cannot seem to fight back right now.
They have double 4 staff, so in theory they should be able to bail these cores out when the jump comes.
Tofu, he was sitting on the low ground there, didn't expect that Tundra had vision of him. No, somehow he managed to live. And Skeeter pretty far forward here now. He doesn't have the enrage, but he does have the BKB, so there's really not too much to fear for him.
I mean, Tundra definitely feel like they're getting the better at gaming right now, and they're continuing to push the pace. No reason to give any space here when you're playing for that next Roshan, and it's an early spawn already up here at the 23.5-minute mark. If I'm Tundra, I want to start scouting this out and just let my Ursa go in the pit and clean it up solo. Don't even have to give up much map control when you have Beastmaster who can guarantee you the vision advantage, and you have really nice wards on the lanes right now. One on that bottom gate for the Roche, but one on this top that's going to see where dyrachyo goes if he's farming up here. And that's another free tier 2. Tundra just controlling the map off a classic zoo-oriented lineup here. Some Siggies, as you mentioned. Looking damn good right now, and Gaiman on the back foot. They will finish a Greaves for Ace. First really big aura of the game, and that blink for Quinn maybe will help him pick the initiations better. I feel like you just have to land an arrow. Like, what else are you doing in this fight if you can't set up an arrow that lands on a big core and go in and try and burst him?
Yeah.
It'll be a smoke from Gaiman that is headed into no man's land up here.
Oh yeah, they're going up to, I think maybe they're going to nighttime Roshan, but Roshan might die before that hits.
I think it will. This is very quick.
He's just about to walk out of the pit. Let's see if Skeeter can finish him off. No, they use the Primal Roar to keep him in place. They do not want to let him limp away to Gaming Gladiators' side.
And look at the mine on the hill.
Yeah. If they go up to this high ground, if they try and catch, they go for the telekinesis arrow, but they're going to be jumping in all those mines. Quinn, you got to get out of there. A dangerous proposition. They try and challenge Tundra on that high ground, with Tundra also having Aegis and Cheese.
I mean, they got the ult out of the Ursa, and they just cleared through 9 instantly. A super sick arrow by Tofu. I don't know if 9 could have dodged it at all. He did not manage to, and I think Tundra are lucky to get out of there with everybody else and their Aegis intact.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that. Part of that was the fact they also didn't have 33. He didn't join them in that incursion post Roshan.
I mean, he didn't have roar, right? He had to roar the Roche.
Yeah, so he just ran to mid. He's like, I'm going to push out this lane. I think so they were playing 4 versus 5. Then they lost their Pango 3 versus 5.
Hey, we'll get another shard here. These shards are adding up. That's a very good one, too.
Jeez.
Yeah, this Ursa shard is...
How is he low enough net worth to get that?
They just have all the other shards, I think. Wow. Actually, they don't. I mean, they have the Pango and the Ench one, so yeah, it was a 1 and 3. They just rolled well. Sometimes the answer to a lot of things in life. Luck.
Oh, it was between Snaking and Skeeter. Because Skeeter was actually behind the Beastmaster in net worth until he got that shard.
Oh, I see. He's gonna put
nice force step up to the high ground. That'll save Celery's life barely. Throw up a ward there to try and get vision of him, but he's already gone.
This is your second Aegis around that 26-minute mark. That's going to be a high ground push, though. What can you do to stop it? You have BKB on 33, Cheese and double damage on 9. If they find a single pick off, they are going to push your base.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do it without that pick, but you give it to them, it's going to happen very fast.
Which means a lot of this little time comes down to how Ace
33 just knows.
Yeah, he's going to find Ace here. That's trouble. He can pop the BKB to keep up with Ace, but if he loses detection of him, if you manage to get up the TP off and then get out of sight again, it's possible.
I mean, there's nowhere to juke.
Oh, yeah. The problem is going to be in this situation, Ace. If he TPs, he's going to reveal himself, and then the Moonlight Shadow Fade time comes back into play. He probably gets roared during that period of time. Quinn, he's also gonna get caught. Oh no! Blast off, chains it, the roll it up, chains that stun after the blast off even further.
Dire's middle tower
Tundra
is under
cooking
attack.
right now.
They're just finding everything on the map. They're getting all their big core items up. And again, you give up these pickoffs, you were looking at a fast high ground that might just end the game out of nowhere if you're not ready with all your heroes. The vision is just doing wonders for Tundra in this game. Between the Enchantress keeps and the Beastmaster Hawk seeing everything, plus some really good deep wards. You got one Radiant ward on the map and another one at that top gate that's pretty much useless given your position. You just don't see anything here.
Tundra just swarming all over the place. Gaming Gladiators have to run at the first sign of any incursion. They're trying to finish up some of these crucial items. The butterfly for the Morphling, not sure if that's going to make enough of a difference though, because we've got Aghanims done for 9 and he's working towards a blink already.
I mean, the evasion versus the Ursa is just not great either. And Basher up, yeah. He just doesn't care. He's just going to keep swiping you. And even then, there's so many right clickers on Tundra right now. Like the Pango doesn't care too much. The Enchantress, okay, if you dodge some impetuses, it feels great. It's just AUI is becoming such a fourth core in this game. That's the real factor that just pushes it over the edge for me. Like even if you start killing these cores, AUI is going to kill you back, man. He's so big. And you don't have a clear answer for the Enchantress. He's going Orchid just to mess with the Timber and the Morphling when they go in after these BKBs are gone.
That pure damage destroys Quinn.
Oh yeah, this is a good Enchantress game right here. This was first pick. Tundra getting everything they want out of this lineup right now. And
Man, such a deserved first pick too, because Gaming Gladiators, they haven't been able to get their hands on the Enchantress themselves in a while.
No, they took the Rubik over it.
Yeah.
So you go into game 2 here, you're going to consider some of the impact these heroes are having for you and what was easy, what was hard, and Skeeter immediately just builds some stacks. Doesn't get the BKB out of him. Pretty free jump. Didn't cost you an ult or anything.
That's true. And plus, you with that level 10 talent, it sticks onto the stacks that you're talking about, stick onto the hero for so long. Dyrachyo just basically can't show himself for like 40 seconds.
Yeah, these stacks still have half duration.
Yeah.
Like, they're crazy. This is the one thing about this hero. His fury swipes are way better than they used to be.
Yeah.
You
It's a
lose
good
some
example
value,
of like why Ursa is good against Ursa. Because you could jump in him, bam, 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 then reset, and then just go back on him again in 10, 15 seconds.
I mean, I almost feel like they're trying to make this hero like a Slark or something.
Yeah,
where you go and build some stacks and lead the fight. Only your pounce that you don't have is like 300 units.
Yeah. If
Imagine
you don't get a charge
Ursa
of it, yeah.
at Slark's pounce range.
Oh my
with
god.
With 2
that's
charges.
Terrifying.
And that ult that saves him. And a shard that also,
well,
I guess he does have that.
Saves him.
Are these the same hero, actually, now that I think of it? These are the same hero. Only one, this guy's just worse.
So let's keep the range, but if you get Aghanims on Ursa, it gives him 3 charges.
Ooh,
to be able to jump
everything. I like that.
Oh,
the Golem push is going to come through. Golem going to give you some extra HP here as well, and AUI in the front. What are you going to do about it? Level 15 already, so he gets extra damage here.
Once again, they push and then rotate to the other side of the map, looking for heroes trying to rat. They won't find it this time, though.
You're building a decent lead. Not easy to go high ground against this lineup without the clear team fight near Gaiman's base, so I don't hold that against Tundra here as this Aegis will expire. Still have a cheese on Skeeter, and again, I think they should be confident scaling in this game with the Ursa matchups and the Enchantress matchups.
Yeah.
The rest of the heroes just get to build utility.
I mean, the game Gladiators have a similar read of things. It means they gotta hit one of these item timings and actually try and actively change the nature of this game rather than just passively sit back.
I would agree with that sentiment, and this smoke is designed to do that. They have Shivas on the Timber and Butterfly on the Morphling. About as good as it's gonna get here. Need the good jump, you need an arrow.
Oh, this is the perfect jump! 9 dies at the start of the fight. And now they're gonna catch more. AY 2000 trying to Hurricane Pike himself backwards here. Staking also trying to cover him, but I do believe Gaming Gladiators should be able to catch at least 1 hero out of this. If not 2, it's gonna be the Enchantress who dies first. And Goku nails the arrow. Beautiful stuff. Gaming Gladiators. A start of a comeback here as they bring back a net worth lead from 14K to 10.
That Pango died so damn fast. My god, he died in a single telekinesis basically. 2 seconds.
Dire's middle
Entire
tower
HP
has
pool is
fallen.
gone. That's just Timbersaw, man. Always got to respect the damage output of this hero.
Radiant's bottom
Catches
tower
Tundra
is
off
under
guard,
attack.
just straight down middle lane. No vision is
Dire's
going to help you
middle
against
tower
Smoke
is under
Piranha ult.
attack.
And similarly, you always have to respect the comeback nature of Gaming Gladiators. They're a team that is comfortable in a space from behind. They have come back in many of their games. It's they didn't get a 3-time major champion and 2-time Dream League champs by always winning the early game and having a lead.
So they have very good smoke connection rate, even from a behind position, and the execution on those is extremely high. That'll get them to another set of items here, buy a lot of time. Maybe you can contest this third Roshan. That would be the dream if you're gaming. Be able to take that fight, take it away from Tundra, and then all of a sudden your ability to go high ground and end this game goes out the window. And they'll get a Tormentor of their own for once. There'll be a shard going to Celery. That is the nice one here, because now you have some extra utility to go with those double 4-stabs on the supports. You get another save. Really vital versus these single target burst jumps Tundra are trying to output against you.
And interesting enough,
they get thrown.
in this exact situation, he has stolen Taser for a little while. So he actually can use that on an ally.
That's another fast Roshan spawn. So that part is going well for Tundra.
That is gotta be upsetting.
And that is an Ag Scepter Rosh. Probably the one Tundra wants here, as Ags on the Ursa sounds pretty tempting here. I guess
you already have 9
could
Ags,
give it to the Beast, but I don't think the drums is doing much for you, so it will go Skeeter's way. Low cooldown to Enrage, and no way to start on him anymore. Though the majority of these initiations have found 9. Which is basically the best target to find, right?
It does kind of make you wonder if he should have grabbed the Aegis, yeah.
There's an argument there, yeah. Like, you give this Ags to the Ursa, does he need the Aegis? If the fight starts with Skeeter going in, you rather have the Aegis on the Ursa. If the fight starts with Gaming going on you, then you rather have that Aegis on the Pango.
It is going to start on Skeeter. He's the one running through the river when Gaming Gladiators went for a smoke and Moonlight Shadow move. They don't get the kill on Skeeter, but they get the enrage out of him. Now they push to the high ground, looking for other heroes. Here comes that Rolling Thunder. 9 gonna have to drive around the corner here.
Who they want.
Into the Underlord. Get the chain stuns out, and the Ursa can deliver the damage. They get the 4-staff away. Nullifier, Yule Scepter, all being used on this Ursa to stall his impact. Ace is still limping away. They want this kill so badly. 9's gonna chase for it, and really there's nowhere to hide to for Ace. He'll be found eventually, and the blast off claims Tofu's life, stopping the TP. 3 kills for Tundra. Keep their Aegis and Cheese up. They're ready to hit the high ground.
I don't even know if that fight looked that bad for Gaming at the start, right? They kited out the Ursa and the Pango roll for so long. You just can't find anything on the backside. The bear is too big, and the roar ends up taking down the Timbersaw. You do get the roar stolen on Celery, a consolation prize here. Just not able to kite that fight out long enough and stand your ground. If the dyrachyo isn't sitting there hitting people with this Morphling,
yeah,
there's no damage coming out.
What did he do during that fight? Because I was so focused on Ace running away. Like, as you said, they kited out well, but what was the carry of Gaming Gladiators getting done to respond?
He became easy, and he has a choice of hitting a Rolling Thunder Pango that's shield crashed or an enraged Ursa.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing, right? There's no damage to be had. And that'll be a racks off that fight that Tundra have been looking for. 20k gold lead. Aegis still up for 3 minutes. And MKB finished for Skeeter.
Man.
That feels damn good with this level 20 talent as well. These Fury swipes hit real hard, real fast, and you can't dodge them anymore.
Oh dear, oh dear.
The single target burst is just gonna chomp you. I think pretty much the only thing Tundra are missing at this point is like Hex or Nullifier territory.
Oh, they are desperate for any pickoff right here. Gaming Gladiators do find it. Snake King falls as he was probably trying to go for the Wisdom Rune here that spawned at 35 minutes.
Another decent pickoff. 50 seconds of your Aegis getting wasted without that Techies being up. Wonder how much Tundra are gonna feel they don't need him here, though.
Well, they should respect Gaming Gladiators because they do have stolen Primal Roar onto the Rubik as well. Tofu didn't respect the space, though. He gets too close trying to defend this mid tower, and immediately Tundra, who are lying in wait, pounce on him.
Man, they just threw every ult on. No hesitation there. AUI will kill a sentry up the high ground. Okay.
That'll certainly show that they have an observer ward there.
Gotta do what you gotta do. We'll die either way. And the tier 4 tokens coming out. Octarine finished for 9. as well as that swashbuckle talent, so he is doing some significant scaling damage here. I wonder if he wants to go for something defensive or just keep the aggression up with like a mash or purchase.
Dyrachyo tries to put his damage to the test here against Skeeter, and honestly, it was not a bad look. Just the problem is, once that enrage goes out, his impact is so delayed.
Gold and sweet.
Man, if Tundra cleared through a lot of these Tormentors, right? This is going to be their 4th Tormentor, I think. As AUI solos it.
Third, right? They got the 20-minute one on both sides, and then now the 30-minute one on their own side.
Yeah, that sounds about correct.
Does mean they almost have all the shards.
33. So dive bomb up and a little extra root action going on.
Oh, they do have all the shards. Yeah, that was the last one. Sneaking, I believe, bought his shard.
All of the shards combining here into a scepter.
That helps into the 21,000 net worth lead that Tundra have built up. They've got a lane of barracks ahead, and they are trying to stop Gaming Gladiators from getting out of the map. The old scepter into an arrow. Skeeter, he's going to be stalled up a bit.
This is a double damage
Morphling,
of course. Oh, he's going to.
Oh, and he almost pulls up, and he does manage to get that kill. Now Dyrachyo starts leading into 9. This is perfect for Gaming Gladiators. Kite out the Ursa. 15 seconds left on the Aegis. They're going to take it away from him by force.
Still up. 10 more seconds here. Dyrachyo. He's got to get half
around. Dyrachyo goes for the back line. The arrow almost landing on a Snake King. Not quite good enough. Skeeter pops BKB, running away, running because he doesn't have a TP. They're going to keep chasing after him, and eventually Dyrachyo is going to catch up. Oh, they use an arrow, and that is going to be 2 deaths for Skeeter.
The support's coming in huge for gaming here. That was another stolen roar on the Rolling Thunder that just locked the Pango down long enough that Dyrachyo clears through him instantly. And you look at those damage numbers, that is overpower plus double damage on a Morphling. That is not a combination you want to give away here. Unfortunate with the rune luck, but that goes back to map control. And also Silver Edge just instantly broke the Enchantress. I think the attack speed from overpower might have killed him either way, but damn, these Yules, arrows, stolen roars have really just decimated Tundra in these fights, using their own strength against him. And this Yules pickup has been very annoying for Skeeter as he doesn't want to use the BKB early, catching him off guard on the initiations and on the catch. Gaimin strike back hard in this game, remove half that lead. And Dyrachyo has suddenly become terrifying. He has still had a perfect game, by the way. 0 deaths on this Morphling. Not easy when you lost so much map so early and your other 2 cores were struggling.
And if he gets to Scotty, not only is the burst potential way down for the Ursa, but then also much higher kiting for Gaming Gladiators when it comes to dealing with that Ursa. Also makes that waveform attacks targets a lot more effective if he's hitting multiple heroes in these fights.
He's going to become a beast here. I think you need to start to get some answers if you're Tundra in terms of the utility and the stall coming out from gaming, which to me, it feels like Hex or Nullifier. I think that's the piece they're missing here.
Yes.
They need the extra lockdown on the single target that they're trying to burst instead of all these 4 staves and random utility clogging it up. The Hex is being sought after by 33. That's his next item here with that blink. It's just been delayed, right? Because he went back for the blink and the boots of travel. Maybe feeling like this game was more in their control than it was. It ended up delaying this Hex that, I mean, it might have caught Dyrachyo off guard in one of those fights.
Yeah.
And you're not getting anywhere close to a Nullifier in this game, as the Pango and the Ursa are just itemizing for damage. Supports are going to be annoying here. They're going to start to kite you out. This is the problem with Ursa in some of these late games. How much can you stick on a target?
It is an interesting dichotomy of strategy here, right? Like Ace is built to Nullifier to help Dyrachyo. Seems like all of Gaming Gladiators is building for Dyrachyo.
Well, and this item just dumpsters Ursa.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You just lose overpower for the entire fight.
Dire's middle tower
Which,
is under
personally,
attack.
I don't think that should be the case. If Valve are listening, I
would
recommend
agree with
that
that,
change
yeah.
the next patch. I think it would help this year out. Unfortunately, Skeeter has to play in this patch, and yeah, there just goes your attack speed. So the Morphling, he could turn into you, get your overpower. You don't get an overpower of your own. That makes the initial jump even more important for Tundra here, that they make the initial burst from the Ursa count before that disarm or, you know, removal of his attack speed comes through.
My waters rise.
Vision counts for everything here in the late game, and Tundra definitely have an advantage in that. They have a board, they have a hawk. They're going to see the Morphling adaptive strike it. which means Tundra know where Game and are.
They know Moonlight Shadow is coming their way. Arrow blind up the hill, doesn't hit anything, deals 2 heroes.
Long wrap is gonna pop up mine. Man, it's so hard to get an angle on the Beastmaster and the Techies right now.
Yeah, just too many warning signs going off. Take a dip into the pit. Now, Roshan isn't actually going to be up, and this is going to be really interesting because if this stalls enough, Roshan is going to spawn and end up going to the other side of the map.
Wants to force it. This is very aggressive.
Dive bomb going to be used. Caught in the Underlord. He's going to try and burst him during this enraged timer. The Disarming can't see him. Oh no, they should have the detection. Now the Beastmaster almost getting popped. Dyrachyo does get bashed up once. Use that Ogre Seal Totem to try and get away, but he managed to finish him. Dyrachyo gets that one hit to finish off the Beastmaster. 1-for-1 exchange so far. AUI starts leading into Quinn.
Beastmaster buyback.
Finishes off the Snake King. He jumps in off the Ursa.
Oh, the bash.
Quinn going down.
That
He
is
does
a
not
clutch
have the
bash.
buyback.
They're gonna break 33 in off the buyback. Bots to the creeps. Can Gaming respond? Can they find anything? Dyrachyo's still looking. He's gonna find Snake King in the back. He gets disarmed by the taser.
Oh, the taser, always a problem. The Manta comes in a little bit late, but even then, Snake King had the HP anyway. Now, the part about this that really sucks for Tundra, Roshan's gonna be so delayed that Quinn will be back up despite a 90-second death timer.
They see Dyrachyo.
So they need more. They need to be able to catch Dyrachyo, really.
This is such a hard catch.
Yeah, it is a very mobile hero, and they don't know exactly where he went to either.
Tundra need to think about the detection on these fights, especially Skeeter. When he jumps this deep, there's no way you're getting dust out from these supports. And he doesn't want to carry a gem. That's
So
what
who
that
helps
jump
him there?
was.
I mean, I think it's got to be like, I don't know, who is going to be carrying the gem on the side of Tundra?
I mean, it was 33, which I think is okay, because he has BKB Blink.
Yeah.
They lost that gem though, right? Oh no, AUI ended up picking it up. So they can put it on the Enchantress, have him frontline. They can put it back on the Beastmaster, play for the jump. Somebody has to go in with it though, because this Moonlight Shadow is wrecking Skeeter on the initiation. And that almost cost you that fight. Like, if that Beastmaster goes down a little sooner, maybe if Gaming can re-clump and protect their Timbersaw from the second jump on this Ursa. Underlord survived.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That means he gets that Purge back onto the Ursa, removes a lot of this overpower from the fight, and then just comes back in towards the end. Almost a disaster there.
The late Roshan, but it'll spawn just before he heads over to nighttime, and given the fact they have an Ursa, they're going to do it so quickly.
Another Aghanim Scepter, so who takes this one? Do you want the Sproink?
Roshan
I think
has
33.
Mortality.
We'll give it to the Beast. I don't know how much this Drums does, because he's getting bursted incredibly fast. Like, no, I also feel like this item is generally a farming and tempo item. I actually don't think it's that impactful in the ultra late.
Sure.
I guess the stats and HP are nice for him though, and I mean Sproink is sometimes very unreliable in the fight. You'd rather be Hurricane Piking than Sproinking.
Game of Gladiators did set up for a fight at this top part of the map.
Oh, that mine.
Oh, the mine! Gives Snaking a heads up, but he doesn't get off the taser in time. Now they're going to start jumping forward. Dyrachyo looking for more kills with a level 26 Quinn. How did he get these levels? He's got the double chakram now.
Yeah, you also have that level 25 talent, the Morphling that we saw earlier, so these two heroes going in a significant amount of burst. It's got upgraded from before. Gaming still finding openings in this game. The lead continues to drop. You just got an Ag Scepter off Roche, and this leads down to 6K.
Yeah, if it wasn't for all those, the 2 free Aghanim Scepters they've gotten and the Tormentors that they've gotten, this would actually be a game in favor of Game of Gladiators here.
Once more, where's your detection on this core jump?
They are going to be able to get
throw away the Pango.
into the rod, into the arrow.
His courage has been killed.
These jumps are not working out for Tundra. Not working out at all, as they just can't sync up the vision with the go. That one was just ballsy in a 2-on-5. Hex will be done for 33. He took the Aegis, by the way.
Yeah.
They're giving it to this Beastmaster. They really want 33 to start picking up some damage in terms of the slack from the other 2 cores. Give him the Ags, give him the Aegis here. He's going to have to go in and make some magic happen,
Dire's top
as these
tower
fights are
is
not
under
looking
attack.
so convincing anymore.
Dire's structures are fortified.
One lane of barracks up. Once upon a time had the 20,000 net worth lead or something. But now, pretty much a dead even a game, because that one lane of barracks doesn't mean enough.
has fallen.
And look at that, Gaming Gladiators had a 0% win probability? Really?
No, it's bugged.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's an actual.
The entire game was apparently never possible for Gaming Gladiators to win.
It's because the AI doesn't really know how to treat a Western European team versus another Western European team because they both should win. So it just
that's
fizzles
good.
out and it doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know.
How can they both be top 4 in the first round of a lower bracket elimination?
I agree with the AI here. I'm confused as well.
Quinn jumping forward. He knows he's strong. He's got a BKB Shivas. He's not easily turned around on. So he just pushes forward with the Shivas, just trying to give opportunities for dyrachyo to pounce.
Tundra just waiting for their Pangolier to be up. But it feels bad giving up this much room when you have the Aegis and Cheese and double Ag Scepter from Roche. It's like, it's so much net worth from this objective and you're barely ahead in this game.
Yeah, they've got another Tormentor they can take, but it won't even give them a shard. Just some extra gold.
And boy, oh boy, as dyrachyo enjoyed these runes, another double damage bottled for the Morphling.
God.
If you don't get this dispelled, somebody is gonna die.
They've
not
got
a question.
Taser and Enchant that can both dispel it.
It's a very big deal if you get this dispelled in the next fight. It's also a big deal if dyrachyo gets to start with this double damage like he did in that previous river engagement. Especially on the Enchantress, if you find and take out AUI, it's a lot of damage removed.
Yeah, has there been one time where Skeeter's been able to jump dyrachyo first?
No. And they still have not found Morphling once this game. 0 deaths for dyrachyo. He has been a menace.
An incredible performance just when Gaming Gladiators need him to step up the most. He stepped up in the Liquid Series in that game 1, a large reason why they were able to make the comeback, but it wasn't enough for the series. Now, in an elimination series, they asked dyrachyo to step up again.
I mean, he popped the DD, it's running out, he gotta go.
And oh, there goes the Enchantress, blending up the site onto the Morphling, but he got tossed up to the high ground. He's okay for now, turns into the Ursa, he's ready to jump back in with a waveform. He's just biding his time, letting the damage go into the Lord stuff, and he blows up snaking. Now he lost the BKB, leads into 33. That's 3 heroes down, but that is the Aegis hero. Turns back into the Ursa, starts linking his Pango, finishes him off as he waveforms away. Crazy performance here from dyrachyo so far, but he's not dead yet. He's gonna fight him back either, but he can't win that back. He's alive. Waveform through. He managed to get a back.
Somebody kill this Morphling.
Now he's morphing into strength. Is dyrachyo gonna stay alive through it all? He waveforms after 33. He's not done yet. He wants more. Once again, turning into the Ursa to pump up his attack speed while he lets his team deal with 9.
33.
Possible.
He wants the God, but he will
trying
be
to
denied.
keep him on, but dyrachyo will not say die. He will stay alive through this fight. He will hold this game for Gaming Gladiators.
Double buyback. Yielded nothing as this Morphling is impenetrable right now.
I just want to point out, adrenaline pumping, dyrachyo almost ran into a mine. There was been times where dyrachyo has lost his life on Morphling to Techies.
Don't you dare curse this man right now.
He saw a power rune in the river and he went for it, but he had the awareness to back away.
Oh, the amount of plays in this fight that are just ridiculous from gaming, right? The telekinesis back up to the high ground. They kite out every single jump from Skeeter. All this Ursa wants to do is hit a hero, man. And every time he goes in, there's something that prevents it. The waveform and cleans up another support. And then when you think you're able to jump onto this Morphling with 33 manning up, you get pitted. You got to wait for that. You go back in, and then guess what? There's another waveform up. He's back out while he kills your Pango on the way.
And the only
back
chance
in
he
with
had
Quinn.
was when dyrachyo actually tried to fight him.
Yeah, and he almost wins this man fight, and you're 1 hit short, and all of a sudden, dyrachyo is still going in, by the way. Finishes off the Ursa with an adaptive while he's morphing to max here. The balls on this man, they are way too big for Tundra to handle right now, as there is not a Morphling answer in sight, and that is the sigh of, guys, what the hell do we do to this machine right now?
Has fallen.
You need a couple more hexes, you need a couple more MKBs. You need a couple more prayers as dyrachyo wants to close out this game 1. The 17th
He could use the Rolling Thunder against them, but there's too much pure damage, too much physical damage from Skeeter.
He's just in again, so deep.
So deep, it's hard to believe. He's gonna pay the price for it this time.
He delved too deep. The aggression eventually sealed his fate.
He dove too greedily, and now they're going to have to play this fight without him and try and get out. Telekinesis down to low ground. Quinn has an opportunity perhaps to get away with the Timber Chain. The shot's raining in. Will finish off Tofu. A blink for blink will get Tofu and Quinn out. Leave they're both away.
Dire's bottom
Tundra
tower is
will
under
hold.
attack.
A perfect game. It almost was, but even a god can bleed apparently.
Nice pickup, Quinn seeing an opportunity.
Can they get the stun?
Is not going to make it out though. The TP just shy of making it, and now he's going to pay the price as well.
Tundra striking back on the edge in this game because they committed buybacks earlier. You have no buybacks up for Tundra on that base push. They commit a Techies one. That's it. It's going to be a dieback for Snay. I don't think they care too much. They're going to run some of these lanes down. And of course, you have to be thinking about the next Roshan. Spawn's coming up here. Is the fourth time the charm for this bear who commits his level 25 talent to extra overpower attacks. I mean, you don't really have a choice with this talent. It's just when you are getting nullified, so much is built into the overpower, building up your Fury swipes.
Yeah.
Skeeter has had a hard time committing in through the pits, through the nullifiers, through the force staffs, through the waveforms. It is a lot for this bear to fight through. Could even get Silver Edge broken. Nonetheless, this will be a Roshan that goes Tundra's way as they claim every single one this game. It'll be another Aghanim Scepter.
More Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, it's one of the supports here. Minefield or Sproink, take your pick. I guess you can eat one. One or the other. I guess 9 could eat it, yeah.
Yeah, if he wants to, it would be a little inefficient though. They are going to give it to AEY.
Respect the two-time champ here. Let him carry you. BKB on this Enchantress now. As that 20k gold swing that was Tundra's that swung to a 17k gold swing for gaming now gets swung back to Tundra's lead as the roller coaster continues here, and we are approaching the 60-minute mark. Got to think about these tier 5 items coming out now too. How do you itemize for them? Potential for the longest record. Would not surprise me if it's a little Tundra game.
Oh yeah, I mean they are already, like Tundra had been winning most of the time, but when they did lose that fight earlier, 33 was immediately throwing his career down the mid lane and pulled the creep wave away.
You already know. You already know he's thinking about it.
Yep.
Mine.
But man, have Gaimin found a way bigger foothold in this game than I thought they were going to do. And they have another set of pretty big items coming out. The utility on these supports is out of control, and full E-Blade done for Tofu on top of a Lincoln Sphere.
Wow.
They are just going to be throwing in these defensive items, and you have double Hex out between Ace and Quinn. So if they find the pig on the bear, Skeeter, who jumped first,
breaks the smoke. Moonlight Channel's gonna go out. They're gonna jump forward and immediately blow up the Enchantress. He's dead once again. The BKB was used early here from dyrachyo. Burns into the Ursa once again. Starts laying that damage into 9, but shield crash. 80% damage production. But that's not gonna be protected for long. Yule Scepter hits him, dispels that one. Hits him with the nullifier. He is trying to get away from the swat. Dyrachyo jumping E-Blade. The response with Skeeter, but an E-Blade bails him out. Dyrachyo can now go back in with the waveform on top of 3. Heroes finish off 1. A second one died. Now he's gonna finish off 33 as well. The Beastmaster dead with an arrow back in. Skeeter, no! That didn't actually hit him.
Land.
Comes back in, pops his BKB, and he's looking for heroes to hit. He didn't actually get anything. He finally starts swinging onto the Underwood, but the taser causes him some issues. He doesn't have it range for another 5 seconds, and he will die as well. Tundra will have to play against 5 with limited buybacks here. There is going to be no Pango, no Enchantress.
Skeeter is going to have to come back. He has ult. He has no BKB right now. You have one jump in this roar and this Hex. Are Gaming going to respect this? No, they're going to gate to heal and come back. Triple arrow also already out. My God, that E-Blade came in so clutch. I think dyrachyo saw this game flash before his eyes there as Tofu bails him out. And the waveforms are just destroying them in this fight, man. The low cooldown on this spell, when he goes in, he gets these crits, he gets these hits. It decimates Tundra on the clump, getting stuck in these pits as well.
Yeah, the pit that has a level 25 talent, so an extra 0.65 seconds in there.
Something went wrong for Quinn in the base as his bot's TP's on cooldown. He didn't make it back through the gate, so Gaming are going to be missing the Timber Saw here for 30 seconds.
Dire's top
That's an
tower
opening for
is under
Tundra,
attack.
a big one.
Yes, but now it's a 4 versus 4.
He just evened the odds a little bit. I don't know what happened, but it was not what Quinn had in mind. I don't know if Tundra know this, though.
Yeah, that's true. And he's going to be making his way through the map. They don't want to fight after all because they still have a lane of barracks at this bottom lane. 30 seconds left for the Pangolier.
Dire's
Can
top
you
barracks has
stall
fallen.
right now? You have that bottom wave pushing 20 seconds. You can potentially give up Megas to win the fight. The thing is, Gaming still have buybacks on pretty much everybody, and you don't hear for Tundra.
Is under attack.
This is a hard lane to give up. You don't have Glyph. Quinn is going to scout.
Immediately inside the vice, put onto the Ursa. Force step gets him away. Impetus could be then giving up the buildings for it. No, jumps in, Skeeter. He's nullified. Nullifier. Has UZ in range, slowed down by the chakrams. It is so hard for him to get away. Yule Scepter. Now the arrow coming in, blocked by the board. He sees an opportunity, jump back in, but so does dyrachyo. He goes through, decimates the back line, almost getting two, but 33 limps away.
Goes back.
Put back onto the Enchantress. They need the case on him. Pure damage coming in. Dyrachyo gets another waveform away, and Quinn finishes off yet another hero. It's going to be no Techies now for the defense.
An AUI buyback is what they get. They do not get the Megas. Gaming do not want to leave here without the big prize. They're going to gate heal again. This is just so brutal. The efficiency out of this fountain is pushing Tundra to the limit as they have absolutely no lives left to purchase in this game. It is a 4-on-5, and Gaming are going to run it in through for the Megas here. No Glyph as well. You got to jump it. You got to jump now. Skeeter,
He's got a Lincoln's on him.
Take your
How do you
pick.
stop this guy. The answer is they can't. They give it up. But maybe they get too close. That dieback now. Once again, Quinn finds the opening. Dyrachyo's in pretty deep. He'd be able to kite around Skeeter. Oh, Rodbetos nullifier. The Primal Roar goes down. Skeeter can't live.
Chuck off the map.
Yule Scepter arrows. It's too much. 9, where is he? It doesn't matter. Game 1 is over.
9 rolled straight into the abyss, man. He ended up off the map and stuck. What a way to end the game for him when it started so well. And yeah,